Well, it's official. Scarlet Enclave and Season of Discovery as a whole has been cleared, with the guild Btribe from Living Flame EU completing the raid in just over 25 hours from launch, finishing off the last boss, Grand Crusader Calderan, and the Ashbringer itself in a very memorable showdown that I'm sure you'll want to see for yourself. I'll have a big video going over the mechanics for each of these fights in the coming days, but for now I want to show you some of the amazing things that they were able to pull off faster than any guild in the world, and a peek at what you can expect as your raids tackle this incredible new raid in Season of Discovery. First off, as many of you have probably already heard, this raid is much harder than we expected from a Season of Discovery raid, and everyone in the comments is going to rage at me for saying this, but screw you guys. I love that this raid is challenging, and I can't wait to jump in myself this week on my warrior. The fights are dynamic, interesting, flavorful, and require strong play from everyone. Gear will help sand down the edges over time, as well as some possible nerfs that we can expect to see soon, but suffice to say, this is a giant W from Blizzard, and they should be super proud of themselves. This raid kicks ass. Okay, let's get into it. The first encounter, Balnazar, has you facing down the Dreadlord in the center of Tyr's hand, where he summons spooky shades, and around 70% he takes off and begins to fly around the room, silencing anyone in the darkness. The raid looks to stand near these priests, channeling these rings of light to hold the darkness at bay and prevent the silence while managing the host of adds and DPSing Balnazar as he does circles before dropping him to 40% where he'll land again, kind of like Onyxia. From here, he snuffs out the priests and their light by dropping infernals on their heads one by one, which you need to deal with while managing everything else he's got going on. And if you can take him down to 5%, Calderan himself will show up, get pissed off, and smite Balnazar. From here, the raid is jailed by Calderan and the Scarlet Crusade before staging a jailbreak and rushing into New Avalon, eliminating captains and then taking down the controversial Beatrix. This boss was much harder than many people expected, but after a small nerf she received today, it seems to be going a lot smoother for people. This is a super cool fight, and it was Btribe's first world first before going on to secure every single one after this. From here on, the raid has a few choices. We'll pick just one to start with and talk about Alexi the Beast Lord, a hunter boss with his bear pet, where you'll look to dodge traps, circles on the ground, entangling roots, and big damage on your tanks. This is a cool fight, but it should be much easier than Beatrix. Now we move into Solastraza, a captured protodrake who's taken roost in the collapsed barracks with her whelps, dodging fire on the ground, dropping off red circles on the corners, big raid cooldowns for the AoE damage phases, and surprisingly taking her HP to 0% 3 separate times before she finally relents. Then we move to the super cool Mason the Echo, the captain of the Scarlet Navy. This fight is awesome. We'll fight swashbucklers and dodge cannon fire while Mason zips around the room, cleaving with his sword and dropping oil that slows you, and eventually you'll need to fire someone from the cannon on the beach to the boat, grab some cannonballs, and fire them back at Mason to break his shield. Super rad, while also not being a ridiculous challenge. Then we move on to what is probably the hardest fight in this instance, the Reborn Council. We'll face down 3 of the 4 big bads from Scarlet Monastery, resurrected as undead, and have to juggle them all at the same time. Herod does a whirlwind, Arcanist Doan raises lava from the room and fire tornadoes that you're going to look to dodge, as well as Interrogator Vicious from the graveyard blinking around, garroting people. There's also probably Mograine, but we didn't see him this week, maybe next week. This fight's only been killed twice as of this video by groups of 20 people and is proving to be the toughest encounter in the raid. I expect to see some nerfs soon to their HP, if I had to guess, but TBD. After that, we tackle Lily and Voss before she's been turned into a Forsaken, dropping green pools around the room, dealing with an Ignite from Putris who pats around the cloister, and more. This fight didn't look too bad, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some buffs, as it took Btribe less than half an hour to take her out, which compared to Calderan or the Reborn Council, felt like a bit of a letdown. And finally, the big bad himself, Grand Crusader Calderan. Facing off against him at the altar at the center of the cathedral, we manage ads, which he'll resurrect occasionally, drop fires off, and at a certain point, he'll begin to channel energy into Ashbringer itself, and will have to burn super hard to break his channel or the raid will wipe. From here, he gets pissed off and begins to burn the cathedral itself down before escaping to a cliff overlooking the now burning New Avalon, where he'll turn his attention back to the raid for one final unrelenting onslaught. Which sub 10%, he'll sprout Demon Wings, surprise, he's not a good guy after all, and we finish him off, clearing the instance and getting a mountain of loot, including a cool Scarlet Steed. Congratulations, Btribe. Thank you guys so much for sharing the footage of your kills. I hope that you guys are as stoked as I am about this raid. It's an awesome promise of what's to come for Classic's future, whatever that may be, and I'm excited to get in there this week myself. Like I said, boss guides to come, so make sure to subscribe if you're looking for those, and I'll see you all out there to discover what's next. We have the roof caving in. Columns are on fire. This is so cool. All right, so now they're racing back to Calderan as the ceiling of the church goes. They run into the stained glass window, whatever the hell that is, and then we get some RP.